Alright boys and girls, I hope you're having a lovely day, okay? Today lads, I want to talk about the games that I've played in the month of April. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've played a lot of games this month, okay? I've played a shit ton of games, but most of the games I've played this month haven't really necessarily been purely for pleasure. Don't get me wrong, the games I've been playing this month have been super fun, but most of them have been for videos. I did like an entire video on like samurai games, so I was playing a ton of different samurai games, okay? I played a lot of them and I had a really good time playing those. And I've also been playing a lot of Star Wars games this month, okay? I'm gonna be doing a big Star Wars video on May the 4th, because obviously May the 4th be with you and all that, so look forward to that in a few days time. But obviously with me playing all of those games, it didn't leave me with like a lot of time to play anything else. Like that was where most of my time was spent. So, yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to play too many games this month that weren't for videos, but the games I have been playing have been absolute bangers. I do want to quickly mention a couple of games that I played briefly this month. I don't feel like I've played them enough to talk about them properly, but I'll just give them like a passing mention. The first game being Burnout Legends. Now I've been enjoying the fuck out of this game, okay? I think it's absolutely incredible for a PSP game. I've just been playing this game a little bit on and off lately. I picked it up pretty recently, and you know, when I've got some free time and I don't want to play anything too serious, I might just quickly put this on my PSP and play it a little bit. And it's basically just Burnout free on the PSP. It like is surprisingly good for the PSP. The frame rate's really good, the graphics are really good, soundtrack of course is really good. Like the Burnout games always have good soundtracks. So I haven't played it a ton. I've maybe only sank about an hour and a half at most into this game, but I've been enjoying it, and I can just play it now every now and again, you know, put like 5 to 10 minutes into it, just quickly pick it up and play it. But unfortunately I haven't really played it enough to like give you guys my full thoughts on it, okay? It's a really good game though from what I've played of it, but I just need to play it a little bit more. And the other game I also played like very briefly was Hitman Blood Money. Now you guys might be aware that I did a vote like not too long ago on like what game I should play, and you guys voted for Hitman Blood Money. Unfortunately though, I just haven't had as much time to play it as I wanted. I thought I'd have more time to play it, but I've just been so busy lately. So I've only played like 3 or 4 levels of it. I've not got very far into it. I'm absolutely terrible at it, I might add. I am just the worst like assassin of all time. I'm quite bad at like the modern Hitman games, but I'm even worse at this one, okay? I get caught so easily.
Hey!
Ah, you got me.
Oh, not quick enough.
Not quick enough.
So yeah, I definitely want to sink a bit more time into it, lads, but yeah, I haven't had as much time as I would have wanted to play it, so unfortunately, I can't give you more thoughts on it, but still, I have enjoyed my brief amount of time I've spent with it. So yeah, with that out of the way then, boys and girls, let's talk about the games that I have played properly this month. I do also, before we get into it, I want to know, what games have you been playing this month? I'm absolutely curious what you guys have been playing, so yeah, let me know in the comments what you've been checking out. But the first game I want to talk about today, boys, it's a big one, okay? This game was fantastic, if I might say so, and that is Metal Gear Solid 4. So I want to start off by saying, boys, I absolutely love Metal Gear, okay? I love the Metal Gear Solid series, okay? It's a series that I've not that long ago got into, maybe like a couple of years ago, and I just immediately fell in love. I played through Metal Gear Solid 2 and just adored it. And then I played through Metal Gear Solid 1, and then I played through 3, and then I played Peace Walker, and I've also played Metal Gear Solid 5, and the only one like out of the mainline series that I haven't played is Metal Gear Solid 4. Chronologically, out of all the mainline games, this is like the final one, so I figured I'd play this one last, and yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. It's not a perfect game by any means, boys, okay? This is a very divisive title, and I think a lot of that division comes from the fact that this game has an absurd amount of cutscenes. I've seen a lot of people talk about the fact that this game had a lot of cutscenes, and I thought they were maybe exaggerating a little bit. Like, I thought, well, it can't be that many cutscenes. Like, most of the Metal Gear Solid games have, like, a lot of cutscenes. I think only, like, Metal Gear Solid 5 has a lack of cutscenes. But yeah, they weren't kidding, boys, okay? Metal Gear Solid 4 is basically a freaking TV series. It feels like at times there's barely any gameplay in this game. It just feels like one long cutscene with like a sprinkling of gameplay. So yeah, most of this game is just watching it. But I gotta be honest, lads, I didn't really mind it that much because I was still enjoying the story, okay? I really enjoyed like just pretty much every cutscene I was getting in this game. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, okay? If I'm enjoying myself, regardless of whether it's gameplay or through cutscenes, that's all that matters. I will say though, when it comes to like replaying this game, I'm probably gonna be a little bit less warm to all those cutscenes. Like I'm probably gonna want to play more gameplay sort of thing. So that might come a little bit of a problem when I replay it. But yeah, on first playthrough, I still enjoyed this game despite it having a ridiculous amount of cutscenes. I also want to say with Metal Gear Solid 4 is just how bloody weird it is. This is by far, I think, the weirdest Metal Gear Solid game I've played. Like, it's just bizarre. Like, you've got these monkeys running around drinking soda for some reason. I don't know why. And then you've got one character who just, like, keeps shitting himself. Like, this game is just very, very bizarre, okay? It's definitely unique, to say the least. Story-wise, lads, I thought this was a perfect conclusion to Solid Snake and Naked Snake's story, okay? I thought this was a fantastic ending, and it just, honestly, it had me a little bit emotional towards the end. I just thought the ending was really, really well done, okay? And when Naked Snake and Solid Snake meet, I just thought that was really good. I will say, though, story-wise, like, had me confused at times, okay? In, like, classic Metal Gear Solid fashion. That there's no way you could possibly understand everything when it comes to the Metal Gear Solid series. I'll be taking majority of the story on board, and then just out of nowhere, Otacon will say that he got arse raped by the Lale Lule Lo, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And the Metal Gear Solid series can just hit you with crazy curveballs, okay? And you just gotta try and keep on board with the story, which is not easy at times. And honestly, lads, I think my favorite thing about Metal Gear Solid 4 has gotta be Raiden, okay? Raiden was done so well in this game. Like, he was so badass. In Metal Gear Solid 2, he was a pretty good character, but in Metal Gear Solid 4, he is just an absolutely top tier badass. I so badly want to play Metal Gear Rising Revengeance now, okay? I cannot wait to play that game. I think I'm gonna have to play that next month. Like, every single second that Raiden was on screen, he was just the coolest character in the world. I loved him in this game. He was just beyond cool.
I am lightning. The rain transformed.
Yes! That's awesome!
So yeah, I absolutely love the way they dealt with Raiden in this game. I thought they did an amazing job with his character. I can only really think of one thing about this game that I didn't really like. I mean, the cutscenes were a bit long again, so yeah, that maybe you could say is a criticism. But I think my biggest issue with it is that there was not too much of that fourth wall breaking stuff. In Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3, there's tons of amazing moments where they break the fourth wall. In the first game, Psycho Mantis can read your memory card. In the second game, the characters will tell you that you're sitting too close to the TV. In the third game, when you're fighting the End, you can like turn off your PS2, come back a week later, and he dies of old age. Like, there's so many amazing fourth wall breaking moments in those games, and in this one, I didn't really notice too much of that. There is one part in the game, and this is a mild spoiler for those that want to play this game, so maybe skip ahead a little bit, but there is one part in the game where Psycho Mantis comes back, and he does try to read your memory card, but he notices that you don't have one because it's on the PS3, obviously. But I don't really see why he couldn't have read my hard drive, you know? Like, why couldn't he have done that? That would have been so cool. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't really notice too many of them fourth wall breaking moments, okay? Because they're some of my favorite things about the Metal Gear Solid series, alright? That's what makes it so unique, as some of those incredible fourth wall breaks. And unfortunately, I didn't really see that too often. But other than that, lads, I absolutely love this game, okay? I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I would recommend it if you somehow haven't played it. Okay, then, lads, the next game I want to talk about is going to be Dead to Rights Retribution for the PS3. So yeah, this is a game that I picked up quite recently, lads. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it wasn't too long ago. I was visiting a town, I saw it, and I've never played this game before. In fact, I've never played any of the Dead to Rights series. There's quite a few of them, to be honest with you. There's a couple on the PS2. I think there's one on the PSP as well. I've never had the chance to play any of them, but yeah, I just fancy playing it. I don't know why, I was just kind of in the mood for it. This is one of those PS3 games where it just sort of, you can tell, is going to be like a 7 out of 10 at best, you know? And to be honest, that's exactly what it was, you know? This was a 7 out of 10 game to me. It didn't blow me away. It wasn't the most incredible game I've ever played, but it was pretty damn fun, you know? I had a good time with it. I could shut my brain off and just murder people, and it was good. It was a good time.
That man should be arrested immediately.
It's pretty much just a basic third-person shooter with some decent fighting in there as well. Like, you can go up to people, you know, throw some hands, throw some fisticuffs, you know, pull off some combos, that sort of thing. It's pretty fun to like beat people up in this game, so yeah, that was pretty good. And then yeah, it's just a pretty vanilla third-person shooter. It's really brutal. That's one thing I will say. This game had a lot of like had a lot of blood in it, which is cool. Like, there's sections in this game where you get to play as a dog called Shadow, and he will just like run up to people and just like completely rip their fucking neck to shreds. So yeah, that was pretty brutal. And to be honest, just in general, this is quite a brutal game. This game has like a lot of executions and stuff you can pull off, and yeah, it's quite a bloody fun mess. The story here, lads, is pretty mid, like, to say the least, okay? It's just a pretty forgettable story. It's not terrible by any means, but it's just not the best. It's not helped by the fact that the game has really bad voice acting at times. It's not like awful all the time, but there are just certain moments in the game where the voice acting is noticeably bad.
Tell me, why? My dad is dead!
Jack! Stop! You're killing him!
So yeah, story-wise, I could take it or leave it, lads, but that's not what I play a game like this for, okay? I play a game like this to shoot people, okay? And yeah, the shooting in this game is pretty fun. It's maybe not like the most smoothest third-person shooter. This isn't like Uncharted or anything like that. It is somewhat clunky at times, but it's fun, boys, alright? You go around, you blow people to shreds. It's a good time. Honestly, one of my favorite things about this game is just the sheer amount of weapon variety, okay? This game has a crazy amount of weapons. By far, my favorite has got to be the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle absolutely packs a punch. You can one-shot almost every enemy in this game with the sniper rifle, and it doesn't matter where you hit them. You can hit them in the little toe, and it will kill most people. The gameplay isn't always good though, lads. There is one section in this game that drove me fucking crazy. There's a part where you basically have 3 minutes to defuse 3 bombs, and you know, it sounds simple enough, right? But there's just a ridiculous amount of enemies, and you've got 3 minutes to defuse these bombs. You gotta be damn quick, and you are just fucking surrounded, like left, right, center, through your ass, everywhere. There's enemies all over, and it was driving me nuts.
If you can honestly look into your heart and tell me you want me to leave, I'll go.
Okay, leave.
Wow, did you look in your heart?
And after I did that section, there was nothing really in the game that frustrated me afterwards. It was just that one section that drove me crazy. So yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but that was pretty annoying. Speaking of sections in this game, lads, there is one section in this game. It's towards the end, actually. Probably one of my favorite sections in the game. You're like suited up in this like battle armor. You've got like a rocket launcher / minigun, and you are just mowing enemies down. Super fun section. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to this game, lads, okay? Not too much to talk about with it because it's pretty vanilla, okay? There's not too much to it, but it is a good time. It's a good fun shooter, so if you have a PS3 or a 360 and you just want to shoot people and stuff like that, and you like your violence, Dead to Rights Retribution, it's a good old game. Okay then, boys, the next game I'm going to be talking about here, and I absolutely adored this one, okay, it's going to be Zone of the Enders 2. So yeah, this is a game that I picked up at the end of last year, lads. It was in November. I went to the London gaming market and I found it. I was so excited to find it, okay, because this is like one of the games I wanted the most at the retro gaming market. I absolutely adored the first game, okay? I genuinely think the first one is stupidly underrated. I see a lot of people that like the second Zone of the Enders, but I don't see enough people sing the praises of the first one. I genuinely think the first one is really good still. I don't feel like the first game gets nearly enough credit, okay? Because I honestly think that game is amazing, okay? The second one, though, is also amazing. This game is so good. Do I think it's better than the first one? I mean, yeah, it probably is overall better than the first one, but I still have a soft spot for the first. I genuinely think it's so underrated. I just think the entire series is underrated, okay? This is like some of Kojima's best work, in my opinion. I love the Metal Gear Solid series, of course, but the Zone of the Enders stuff is so good. And what this game is, lads, is it's basically like a mech game, so if you've ever played a mech game, you kind of know what to expect. However, unlike a lot of other mech games, this is really fast-paced. And the game is just so speedy and fluent, okay? The controls are seamless. The game just plays so nicely, okay? It's amazing how well these games have aged. This game lets you use different sub-weapons as well, so you'll be ranging from like a machine gun type weapon to various other ones. There's a lot of weapons in this game. All of them are super fun and versatile, and you'll use them for different situations against certain bosses, that sort of thing. Speaking of the bosses, okay, the bosses in this game are 10 out of 10. There's some fantastic bosses in this game. I love the soundtrack to this game, okay? The soundtrack is amazing, okay? There's some absolute bangers in here. I do feel like that's one like aspect of Zone of the Enders 2 that I think was improved. The soundtrack is definitely better in the second one.
Just listen to some of this and it'll blow that poppy trash music right out of your head. Wait. Oh man, that's like the best part.
Story-wise, lads, I thought it was absolutely amazing, okay? It was just top-tier stuff. A lot of the cutscenes are done through, like, anime cutscenes, so it's almost like you're watching, like, a mecha anime at times. I thought the story was really well done, okay, and I just really love these characters and the way they progress throughout the game. I really enjoyed it. I did maybe slightly prefer Zone of the Enders 1 story, just a tad. I just felt like there was a slight bit more emotional weight at times in Zone of the Enders 1. I mean, this game does have some great emotional moments, but the first one, I mean, specifically towards the end of that game, genuinely makes me well up a little bit when I play that game. There's a part at the end of Zone of the Enders 1 where Viola has like a monologue just before she dies. I do apologize if I've spoiled that for you, but that's at the end of the first game, and yeah, it just makes me emotional because it's pretty damn sad, especially if you have watched the Zone of the Enders anime. They actually made some really cool anime for this game, okay? There's like a prologue movie called Idolo, I think it was called. I think that's what it was called, and then they also did like a series as well, and it's really good, lads. This entire franchise is so so good and underrated. So yeah, story-wise, As Only Enders 2, absolutely loved it. Like I said, love the characters, but I do maybe just a smidgen of me prefers like the first one story, just a tiny bit. So yeah, in my opinion, lads, As Only Enders 2 was a damn near perfect game to me, okay? I absolutely adored almost every aspect of it. The only thing I would say about it, though, is it is incredibly short. I beat this game in maybe about 4 hours tops, and yeah, that just made me a little bit sad, because I just loved every second I spent with it. I just wish I could have played it a little bit more. I wish this game was 8 hours. Hell, I would have played it for 20 hours. It was so fun. It didn't need to be that long, obviously, you know, I don't need a 20-hour game, but yeah, 4 hours just felt a little bit short to me, because I really loved it. I felt like this game could have been a bit longer, you know, maybe 6 to 7 hours. I would have been happy with that. But yeah, honestly, if the worst thing about your game is that I want to play it more, that's not exactly a bad thing, okay? And As Only Enders 2, I definitely wanted to play more. This was such a good game, and I thoroughly recommend not just this one, but the first one as well. Please, lads, if you take anything away from this video, check out the Zone of the Enders series. It's so underrated. Okay then, boys, the final game I want to talk about, okay, is going to be Stellar Blade for the PS5. Okay then, lads, so obviously this game has not been out very long, okay? This game only came out a few days ago, so I haven't had a ton of time to play it. I definitely want to play a lot more of it, but from what I've played of it, oh my god, lads, I want to gush over this game. I fucking love it. It's
fantastic.
This is a game that I was just ridiculously hyped for. I couldn't wait to check it out as soon as I saw the trailers for it. I was like, that looks really freaking cool. And yeah, now it's finally here. It's so good, lads. It's so good. I want to start off with this game's visuals, okay? It's an amazing looking game, okay? The different environments just look phenomenal. The character models are just 10 out of 10. They look incredible and different and diverse. The color scheme in this game is just so varied and sporadic, okay? It'll range from dull to bright. Like, there's just so many different colors on display here. And this game is just a visual marvel, okay? I love the way this game looks visually. And the soundtrack to this game is just, mwah, okay? It is chef kiss, okay? It's just such a vibe. From what I've played of it so far, lads, I'm going through, like, these different towns that have just been completely ransacked. Like, it's apocalyptic, you know? So these buildings are destroyed and everything's just a bit of a shithole. But whilst I'm exploring these towns, like, it's just such a vibe, okay? Because the soundtrack is just so damn good. It's just so damn chill. And then when you go to, like, different campfires, they got, like, even more chill music. I love the soundtrack to this game. As much as I enjoy those chill songs that this game plays throughout the gameplay, you'll get like these boss battles, and then the music just goes from 0 to 100. Like, the soundtrack just goes incredible.
That's it! This is the best game ever!
In terms of what I'm not liking about this game so far, lads, maybe a bit of a nitpick here, and I probably could actually maybe fix this problem, but the voice acting. I'm playing this game in English right now, lads, and it's not badly voice acted, okay? The voice acting, generally speaking, is, like, decent. It's not like a Capcom PS1 game type voice acting, you know? Those games have terrible voice acting, okay? In this game, it's not bad. It just doesn't quite fit for me. A lot of voice actors here are British, and I don't know what it is, it just doesn't feel like it fits the character well.
You're a member of the 7th Airborne Squad, right?
Yes. And you?
Right. Let me introduce myself. I'm an engineering support of the 5th Airborne Squad. Lily Artemis II.
I might just put the subtitles on here, lads, you know, because I feel like the voice acting would be better. But anyway, lads, of course we've been ignoring the elephant in the room with this game, okay? We got to talk about the gameplay. That's the main thing here. The gameplay is just insane. I fucking love the gameplay. Of course, that's the highlight. This game is basically Sekiro if it embraced a bit more of a hack and slash type of game. Much like Sekiro, this game very heavily focuses on parrying, okay? That's definitely a big focus here, and it feels so nice to parry. Not quite as nice as Sekiro, but it still feels damn good and satisfying. The hack and slash gameplay feels incredible, okay? The game is fast and fluent, okay? It's got an amazing upgrade system. The gameplay is just top stuff, okay? From what I've played of it so far, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But of course, the highlight here for me, lads, so far is the boss battles. Now, I've not done too many boss battles. I think I've only maybe played like 3 boss battles at most, but I think they've been the highlight of the gameplay for me, boys, okay? The boss battles have been like incredible. This game isn't particularly difficult, okay? From what I've played of it so far, it's a pretty approachable game. Definitely not like Sekiro hero, okay, it's a lot easier, but yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed those boss battles, okay, that's definitely been the best thing. So yeah, on the whole, lads, if you haven't played Stellar Blade yet, again, I've only put like maybe 2 to 3 hours into it, because I just haven't had time to like properly sink into it. I'm going to be playing a lot more next week, though, don't you worry, but yeah, just get this game, boys, okay, this is one of the best modern releases that we've had in a long time. Okay then, boys and girls, so that is all the games that I played this month, okay, I didn't play too many games, but we played some good ones, okay, these were fantastic. So again, boys, let me know in the comments, okay, what games have you been playing? I'd love to know. Other than that, though, subscribe here if you're new, and I'll see you guys for the next one, alright? Peace.